when you're watching things that are very negative or aggressive or things, be aware, be very aware of what's going on in your body. Release afterwards, find your body, find the central channel. Be aware of that. Books, any type of art, and also news, TV, all of this, because it might affect your sympathetic nervous system. It might put you in the stress response. I don't know if you know this book. This is a psychiatrist in the 70s. He did a lot of, I just saw him another day talking about trauma with Pat Hogan that I also like. There are many great people that have been doing a lot of great work with trauma and the body. And in the past, it was much more open to do experiential things. And now it's like the law and this and that and medicine, just give medicine to everyone because the big pharma wants to make their profits anyway. So, and I was sharing with Anne-Marie that I was reading that book and I could not continue. This was many years ago, but I could not continue because in the same way, I'm very sensitive to what happened here and I see here. Many times I also feel the symptoms. And even I was sharing with my husband when I went to Paris and I was looking at the paintings and I had to stop. I had to close my eyes. I have to rest. And then I go back to see a painting because many times I would feel what the painter was feeling when they were painting is imbued in that painting. And this can be 500 years ago, you know, it doesn't need to be painted yesterday. It could be a Renoir or whatever. So I am reading this book and I'm reading about this person who have a very low blood pressure, very low. I have to be careful because it's too low. And I'm reading about this woman and I start to feel so weird in my body. And she had a very high blood pressure. And I went to the machine and I measured my blood pressure was high. Like, didn't I have all the symptoms? I said, close this book. I don't want to read about this. So I go there. Sometimes I look at this, look at that. So there are several books that are really good. And I'm gonna, give you some of the list of books that are related to this work, also related to the body-mind integration, related to trauma in the body, things that if you want to read, you can read. But there is a difference of books or authors that have done a deeper work of this connection, which is a connection more to the spiritual side of themselves. And when they have, and I do not know because Bessel might have done more work afterwards, but when they go just into the trauma and the body and this and that, this is quite strong in the book itself. And for me, I prefer to read more authors that have a more spiritual side because it's also come through the book. On the very hypersensitive person that I think you are because you were here. If you were not, you probably would not be here, believe me. You are very sensitive and you might not be aware what is your body doing when you are watching news, watching certain movies. For years, I tell my husband, don't come with this aggression. I cannot watch. You watch this another time by yourself when I'm not home. When you go in your trip, watch whatever you want. With me, no. News, no, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch that. I don't care. I don't watch many things because I'm very sensitive. In the same way I can see a newscaster contracting their body when they are talking, and I'm not kidding. I have seen, oh, look, they're tightening here, tightening there, in the TV. So in the same way, it's also can affect my body, and I don't want to be affected because the survival mechanism, again, does not know nothing is happening to me. We mirror also many times the neurons, the neurological part of that person. And even now, we are, as we are all together, we help ourselves to be more deeply present, but also we get affected by each other here in a positive way. But when you're watching things that are very negative or aggressive or things, be very aware of what's going on in your body. release afterwards, find your body, find yourself, find the central channel. Be aware of that. Books, any type of art, and also news, TV, all of this, because it might affect your sympathetic nervous system. It might put you in the stress response because you're reading something that affects. It's the same way I felt with biology of belief with Bruce Lipton and a lot of science experiment in the monkeys. You read and you go, I don't want to know about this. I don't want to know what to feel. I don't want to know what is, in the name of science, what we are doing. So for people who are sensitive, I want you to be aware what triggers stuff in you, what triggers, and might trigger in a way that you're not aware. So just be attention. Same with people also, right? Some people will trigger. But people, sometimes we notice very much in your face there, but sometimes can be things like, I was showing Anne Marie's Survival Paradox. Is a great book. He is very spiritual. I haven't invited him for my summit, but he hasn't been there yet. But he has a very spiritual view also of the world. He's very connected. I like him very much. And he's a doctor who talks about how the cell also go in fight or flight, how these walls we make that we are here opening the fascia is also in the cells. So the cells are doing the same, I love that, the same survival mechanism, which is stop, do not come here, I'm protecting myself, I'm having this wall. So the cells do not work well, which really reminds me now that I'm talking about my own cells telling me they were paralyzed because I told them, and now they said, okay. And when I said move, they're like, yeah, okay, we are here to obey you. I'm like, my gosh, what is it? So I was not planning to do any of that. I was going to sit and meditate this and that. I read a book like meditate with this, your higher self, your lower self, your mind, your this, your personality. I said, I'm going to do this. Nothing like that happened. All of this happened but it brought me to not only stop medicine getting better, but also I think paved the way to be here with you today, because I have been seeing inner bodies and bodies of everyone for quite a while now. And it was really how clear was the mind telling the cells, and the cells like a soldier obeying, they do what this mind is telling. So, and this is the book which my story is on page 19, Trauma and the Unbound Body with Judith Blackstone. But I'm gonna put all my books more or less related to this, and I'm a senior teacher of this, and many of exercises we are doing is based on Judith with a little twist that I changed because of the revelations I got that goes faster and deeper. So at least these two people are very spiritual. And I love also Gabor Mate, but I have seen him in person. I always remember not many years ago, few years ago, and he was saying, I never felt the self. I never know what is this they talk about. I could never connect with that. And he has done great work, and his work is called Compassionate Inquiry. Comes a little bit with somatic experiencing, is another shift from there. But it was not precise and deep enough as this. Plus, but it was so interesting. I almost want to raise my arm and say, I can help you to find that. You haven't felt, but it was not my place to do that, because I felt, okay, he has this hunger for that, and he hasn't been able. I can help you. That is like a wonderful, this inner connection and connecting with something bigger than you, but it's you. When you realize that it's you, then your body can open more and more for your own benefit. And some of you are contracting just because I'm saying that. So just for you to know how scary, how scared is this part of you. And the scared part is more on your left side. So be aware, the left side, whatever fear you find there, tell yourself you're safe. Allow space just to be so that part can soften, okay?